What's up? This is the Hoppe and SuperRICH Show. I'm Ryan Hoppe.
I'm Ryan SuperRICH.
And here we have the third voice, the other Ryan.
Ryan Risky.
What's happening?
Nothing much. It's been a week since we've been on because
2
2 weeks.
Half a month. Wow.
Well, because you had the nerve to go on vacation.
How dare I go on vacation and meet
I
my
hope
favorite
you'd
radio
better
show?
give me your fake apology right now.
I believe this was a trip for 5-year-olds. Is that correct? You're going with the preschool group?
Yeah, according to everyone else, this trip meant nothing, and that's nothing. That means absolutely diddly squat. And guys, if you want to get in contact with the show, it's not too hard. 630-785-2510. That's 630-785-2510. And I'm on Twitter if you want to tweet at us in real time and you're too shy, if you want to get in contact, at Hoppe Radio 893. What about you?
At Ryan SuperRICH, STUPRICH.
What about you, Risky?
At RRisky16.
All right, so let me describe this trip for you, because there seems to be some misconception going on with some people who think I just kind of like ditched. I did my makeup classes, so number one, I'm caught up, but that means
Yeah,
nothing.
you did do your makeup classes. You had a lot of fun sitting around.
No, but I mean, here's what happened. I've been listening to the radio for like 10 years now, and when Howard left FM radio in 2006, the show called Rover's Morning Glory came into Chicago, and it was here for like 7 or 8 months, but it was the original replacement for Howard. And I used to listen every single day. I liked the edginess he brought to the radio. I liked the skits and everything they did there, and I just liked the show. So I've been listening for 7 or 8 years now, and I've been able to listen, because for 5 years then I couldn't listen because they were on when I was in middle school, and I wasn't by a computer then. I was actually doing schoolwork. But then around 2011, when I was in high school, I heard radio added a replay channel of Rover, so you can listen 24/7, and it's great. So now I get to listen every day. So I listened to them throughout high school. This shows the reason I'm at ICB right now, believe it or not. So they have this thing every year called RoverFest. It's this big festival out in a clear. And it's a big party where you have a rap group, a rock group. So last year they had Nelly, they had, I forget what group it was. This year it was POD, Trap for the rock groups, Lil Jon, T-Pain. It's insane. So I'm going to break down for you what it was like driving there, because, oh boy.
Yeah.
The drive home was probably even better. We'll save that the best for last.
Yeah, the drive home, let's just say I almost died. Okay, so driving there, I'm all amped up. I get up at 5:30, I pick up my friend Brandon, we get going. Of course the GPS doesn't work.
Of course not.
Typical, and your phone charger wasn't working.
The GPS took us all the way to Rockford-ish. Not Rockford, but you get off the highway, you're fine.
Wait, so you're going south instead of towards Cleveland?
I was confused. I'm is this a route that
Well, how far were you on the road going west to
I got off
towards
at
Rockford?
the Sears Center. It was not that
okay,
bad.
that's not that bad.
It was just kind of an inconvenience, but we're making good time.
Well, when you see the Sears Center, you're probably like, that doesn't seem right.
I'm not going to Rockford, trying to go to Cleveland, another great city. So we get going on the highway, and everything's going good. We go through Indiana. You saw my live tweet. You retweeted it. We get through Ohio. It's going great.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I see my gas tank. It's getting close to empty. It's at that point where it's close to the E, but you're like, hey, I'll just keep driving. Because I'm an idiot. I don't just be safe. I don't just say, hey, it's better to be safe and get gas now.
I fill up at half tank because you get more mileage out of your first half than the second half.
Listen, you're smart. You're economical. I'm a dummy. I waste money when I get it right away. So I'm not you. That doesn't come to my cranium.
Although there might be another reason. I won't list that.
So here's what happened. We're driving through Ohio, and there's this thing called the Ohio Turnpike. And oh boy, since I've never driven through the Ohio Turnpike, I'm not aware that there's exits every 20 miles. Because every time I've gone on a road trip, there's the little rest areas for the hardworking truck drivers to get TCBY, ice cream, McDonald's, Hardee's, get some gas. But no. That's when I go to North Carolina. That's a different route. When you go through the Ohio Turnpike, there's stops every 20 miles. So pretty much you have to get the gas in Indiana or at any exit in Ohio, or you are literally screwed. So we're driving on the highway, and I go, hey, I should probably get some gas soon. So I put on the GPS, or my friend Brandon did, because I'm not driving on the GPS. Next exit is in 25 miles, and not just getting off the exit. You had to drive 10 miles in the middle of nowhere in Ohio.
Right. So at that point, you probably thought, Okay, well, my car is not going to make it.
I was driving 40 on the highway, trying to preserve gas and not die,
Yeah.
and not be stranded in the middle of the Ohio Turnpike, where there's literally no ramp on the side of the road. Like, there's no ramp that you can, like, park on the side. Like, when you die, or when your car dies on the Ohio Turnpike, you're clogging up traffic, because it's 2 lanes. That's it.
Right.
So I get off the highway. We're driving through the middle of nowhere, and I get the gas. But my car literally was all the way behind the line. Like, it was on empty. It took $39 to fill up the gas. That's how empty it was.
Wait, it only costs $39?
Well, yeah, because you're in Ohio. They don't have the Crook County taxes.
Oh, yeah, they don't have the
Those imbeciles, those
70
cretins.
$70 or $80 gas.
Right,
bills.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
Man, I was going to say, that's how much it... $39 is probably how much it would take for me to fill up...
Yeah.
I'll probably maybe a little less than 3/4.
Thanks, Pat Quinn. You're the best. All right.
And there's our good old shotgun sound effect. Theme of the show.
All right. So we get to Ohio, the gas is fine, and immediately it's a different vibe that you will see there that you're not going to see in Illinois. It's more in the middle of nowhere because Cleveland's such a small city. The surrounding areas are so more, like, I want to use the word redneck because you're by Sandusky, Ohio, where there's Cedar Point, good old Sandusky. Then there's Akron, there's Youngstown, there's all these cities, Toledo, that are like 70 miles exactly all around Cleveland. So you have all the crazy redneck people. And now I went with my best friend Brandon, who's African American and he plays basketball. So he dressed proper. He dressed great. But it's the weirdest thing. You're in the line at Chipotle and everyone's looking at him like he's some space alien. It was the most uncomfortable thing. He's like, dude, don't you get this vibe that everyone's looking at me? Yes, Brandon, I got it. Everyone was looking at him. Everyone would come up to him. We had this 5 times. Yo, man, where are you guys from? We're like, Chicago. And they're like, oh, so you're a fan of Common? And he named every Chicago rapper.
It's like, sure. I
wish Brandon was a fan of, like, Fall Out Boy. Like, no, I actually like Fall Out Boy, 311, POD. Okay. So then I see when we're at the motel. So we check into the motel after we get Chipotle. I see one of my favorite comedians who we had on the Friday Sports Riot, Chad Zumock. He's like, I'm going to be in Lakewood, which is just about 20 miles away from where we were in good old Amherst. Ugh, what an awful suburb. So I drive there, and it says that he's at this nightclub called Vosh. It's like a nightclub / bar / restaurant, and he's going to be doing comedy. He's this comedian from Cleveland that I like, Chad Zumock. We had him on the Friday Sports Riot. So I messaged him. I'm like, hey, I'm not old enough to get into your event, but could I come by and get a picture? He's like, yeah, man, you're cool as hell. Come on by. So I come on by, and to have one of your favorite comedians, and this is one of the instances where someone knew who I was by name, to say, what's happening, Ryan, is one of the most surreal moments. Like, I wish you guys were there, because then he would have known you guys from the show, too. Like, it's the most coolest moment when Chad Zumock from Cleveland knew who I was.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
So I get the picture, and he's like, do you want to come in? Do you want to go to my event? And I'm like, I didn't go because, like, Brandon's 17 years old. He's 18 or 17. Like, I've known him for, like, 7 years, so it's not weird that I'm hanging out with him. But, like, he couldn't go, so I had to tell him that we couldn't get in, which is true. So we drive back that next morning. So this is on Thursday. Then next morning on Friday, we get a tour of Rover's Morning Glory and their setup, RMG TV. And, dude, it's like getting a tour. Like, what's your favorite TV show? Would it be SportsCenter or getting a tour of SportsCenter, I guess?
Well, something like that. Like MLB Network set or something.
Probably.
Yeah.
Hanging out with Harold Reynolds.
Yeah, right.
So it's just the weirdest thing to see it set up live. I got a tour from the show's Maniac Jeffrey. That was fun. He kept asking Brandon, what do you think of the movie Soul Plane? What do you think of Lil Jon? What do you think of this? Brandon loved the guy, but it was just funny. He's asking him all these quotes from Soul Plane, a movie that came out 12 years ago. It's very odd that he was asking him that, but Jeffrey's the man. So Friday rolls around that same day later on, and I see the Reverend Bob Levy. He tweets out. Now, this vacation had a lot going on. Like, I was actually sad driving home more than ever because I did so much that I wanted to do more. It was so addicting. It was a high. It was a rush. And to come back home to my cats, cue the crickets. So I see the Reverend Bob Levy. He's like, I'm going to be at the Funny House, which is a comedy club in Cuyahoga Falls, a good old suburb of Cleveland. And I message him. I'm like, I'm not old enough to come into your show. But I'm like, is there any way that I can get a picture beforehand? Because you know me, I'm all about the pictures. And he's like, yeah, man, just say that you're my cousin. I'll sneak you in. So I get there and I say, I'm the Reverend Bob Levy's cousin. And the guy goes, I don't give an F. And then he's called me the C word, which is very strange. The guy who owns the place.
Who is he, Anthony Cumia?
Yeah, you would think he's like the cousin of Anthony Cumia.
Right.
You C-rag. It was just very odd. The guy's very abrupt and funny, but he's just like, go F yourself. And he called me the C word. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I didn't know what to say.
That was real professional.
I mean, the guy gets a lot of comedians there. Shout out to Pete from the Funny House. But it's just very strange. I just didn't know what to say to that.
Yeah.
So the Reverend Bob Levy comes around. He's like, Ryan, what's up? And I got to have like a 25-minute talk with him about like radio. It was one of the most weirdest things because when he's just babbling about how much he hates Howard and all the inside secrets, this and that, you're just like looking at him and you're just like, this guy's talking to me right now. You don't even know what to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this would be like if you and Lawrence Holmes were just talking at the bar about like sports radio and you're just like sucking it in and you're like, this is a moment I'll never forget, and you're just taking it in and you don't even know what to say to it. Like, Ryan, who's your like influence? Len Casper?
Probably. He's probably the guy that I look up to the
I
most.
feel like if Len was just talking to you and you're just taking it in and you're just like, wow, this is awesome.
Oh, yeah, that'd be pretty awesome.
By the way, he's now on hoppiesworld.com. Check it out. All right. Last thing. I don't want to make it seem like I'm showboating or anything, but I want to show the passion I have and just how much fun this trip was. Like, I wish you guys came. Like, it was the most surreal thing. Mm-hmm. Like, to come home, like I said, was the biggest downfall of the rush. And, oh, boy, I can't wait to get to coming home. How that rush
That's
got
the
me.
best part for a listener.
Yeah. So Saturday rolls around, and RoverFest is going on. And I went last year. I got a picture with Rover, my favorite radio show, but the picture's atrocious because I had that rush of happiness, and my smile is so fake, and it's so big. It's really bad. So my whole thing was I want to get a picture with Rover. I want to give him my business card, which is just like a little note card with my websites on it. But I didn't have a business card. I actually ordered some last night. But
Okay, good. Yeah.
Thank God, because you can't just go around with a note card. What is this?
That reminds me, I should probably get those too.
Go to Zazzle.com. Zazzle.com is the place
Zazzle, like Zazzle, something like
That's
that.
the place to be. They got some dope radio cards. So my whole thing is I want to get a picture with Rover. That's my whole thing. So I'm looking around. I got to meet Doogie. I got to meet Charlie. I got to meet Jeffrey again. But it's like, that doesn't mean... Like, that was really cool to meet them, but, like, I want to get a picture with Rover. Like, that's the main guy who's the reason I'm going into radio. Like, I want to meet him. So I'm looking around. I'm like, okay, they're over there at that part of the venue, the Black River Landing in Lorraine. They're over there. Doogie's over there. Dumb's over there. Dieter's over there. I'm thinking, so if they're at that area of the park, I want to check by the porta potties where there's the VIP section entrance for all the guys from the show and all the contest winners that got VIP.
Right. That seems like a good place to go if you're trying to find somebody and talk to them one-on-one.
Especially the biggest guy, the guy who's the whole fest is named after him. You'd think he might be in the VIP section. Don't know why I didn't check there. So I go over there, and I see him on the phone. Seems a little bit frustrated. Not mad. I'm not going to put words in his mouth. But he didn't seem particularly happy at the moment. So he gets off the phone, and I go, Brandon, that's Rover. And he goes, dude, get a picture. I'm like, but should I bother him? Should I wait for the autograph 10? He goes, no. Just go ask him. So I go, Rover! And I do that thing where you, like, wave your hand back. I try to call him over, like we're friends or something. And
like
he goes,
a dog or something?
And he goes, what? And I go, can I get a quick picture real quick? And he goes, sure. So he comes over, and I said, I'm a big fan of your show. I listen every day since 6th grade. You're the reason I'm going into talk radio. And he goes, aren't you Ryan from Chicago? I remember you. In that moment, when your influence knows who you are, maybe he doesn't know you're the Hoppe and Super Show or Risky or the Friday Sports Ride or your websites, but for him to recognize your face, because I'm 6'6" tall and I'm in the radio, and for him to like know who you are is one of the most surreal moments ever.
Well, I think a lot of it probably was because you kept in touch. You know,
Because
you kept in touch with everybody.
Everybody from the show follows me. I tweeted them. But just, that doesn't mean diddly squat. He gets a lot of tweets. He doesn't have to remember me. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, I mean, I am pretty handsome. It's
That's
hard to forget me.
pretty epic. I mean, that's pretty epic.
know.
A guy from Cleveland just happens to remember you.
And has the biggest show in Cleveland. Like, that's a decent... Like, people hate on Cleveland. They act like it's a trash town. They act like there's nothing there. Cleveland City. It's not like you're living in, like, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, or some small market. Like, this is a nice city, the 30th biggest city. There's a lot of cities in America.
Yeah, there is.
So that was a very surreal moment. I also got to meet T-Pain, but there's really nothing to talk about because that was an autograph line. I waited 80 minutes to meet him, and I got a quick picture.
You waited 80 minutes to meet him?
I mean, there's nothing
It
else
sounds
to
like
do.
it's worth it.
It was worth it. He's got
Yeah,
like
I
9
guess
hits.
it's worth it.
Because it's like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but at the same time, it's just like they go, you're next. You get a 20-minute picture.
Yeah.
My picture was actually zoomed in because Brandon had to zoom it in. I'm just kidding. But the thing was, like, you can't just say, hey, T-Pain, Grammy-winning artist, can I get another picture, please? Like, this it's kind of zoomed in. Like, I'm glad it at least gets the job done and the picture's good. Like, imagine if it was just me and you see his one eyeball or something. How atrocious.
Well,
that would
everyone
be.
would think you're lying then. That's not T-Pain.
That's just some guy, like Brandon, or some guy from the east side of town. All right. So we get up at like 10 a.m. I didn't get a lot of sleep because I was so hyped up from everything. I didn't get a lot of sleep. So we get up at like 10 a.m. We check out. We're driving back. We're doing good time. We're talking about how fun that weekend is. We get through Ohio. We're through Indiana. And I said to Brandon, this is a great weekend. I can't wait to get home and just hang out. And he goes, yeah. 10 minutes later, we're going like 85 on the highway. I'll admit, because you're in the middle of Indiana, there's nowhere for the cops to chill. And even if there were cops, you'd see them ahead, you'd slow down. I'm going 85. I'm trying to get home. I'm tired. I want to get home to Chicago. All of a sudden, I go, okay, my oil light's on. Now, that's a clue for the listeners. But I'm like, my oil light's on. Let's just see what's going on with this. So I slow down a bit, and then I speed up like 5 minutes later. I'm like, okay, I'll make it to when we get home. Then I'll get oil once we get home.
Well, how long were you driving with the oil light on?
Maybe 5 minutes. It
Okay.
just turned on randomly. It wasn't like it turned on when I'm in Cleveland and I can go to some repair shop.
Yeah.
Of course, with my luck. My life's like the character Larry David from Curb Your Enthusiasm. I'm like Seinfeld. This wouldn't happen when you're by Cleveland where you can get the oil light on. Of course, it happens when you're in the middle of Bumble, Elkhart, Indiana, right by the RV Hall of Fame. So I'm driving on the highway going 80. All of a sudden, the car begins to shake a little bit. And smoke's coming from the back.
That's always a great thing to see.
And there's a truck behind me. And the car slows down to 65 miles. And I can barely see in front of me because the smoke from the back's going in front. And the truck is honking his butt off. Honk, honk. The truck,
He wanted you to pull over, I guess.
but there's no way to pull over on the right side, only on the
yeah,
left,
yeah.
and I'm in the right lane. So the truck almost rams us off the road, but he's able to stop his truck and not run us off the road. So I get into the left lane because my car's about to die. And, of course, I almost get into a car crash there. Just my luck. I get to the side of the road, that third lane, that little side lane.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And my car dies.
It's a shoulder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, my car dies on the side of the road. So we had to call the repairman. We waited there 2.5 hours. It kind of went by fast because I just kept my car on and I kept the radio on with my iPhone.
Might as well drain the battery while you're at it, right?
But
Now, was the air still on?
Sort of, but I actually like when it's hot. So, like, it didn't really bother me. Now, my friend Brandon's actually more normal, and he doesn't like when it's hot out.
Neither
So,
do
like,
I. Although
Yeah.
I like it when it's cold out.
But you're the weirdo that likes it when it's negative 20 out. Like, what the hell is wrong with you?
I do like
You
that.
weirdo.
I do like
Yeah,
that.
I don't really like negative 20, but I like
I don't know. I could go out in negative
40.
20. I
40
could
is
go out
alright.
in negative 20 in short sleeves and be fine.
You're weird.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
I know that. I don't know. I like it when it's cold.
Until you die of, like, freezing, and then it's...
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay when it's like 60 and sunny.
Yeah.
Year-round
I
or
cannot
something would be
stand it
nice.
when it's like brutally hot and humid.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, so here's what happened. This is the best part. So the RV Hall of Fame, you can see it with your eyes, but, like, you have to cross the highway to get there. Like, you had to go across a field, like, it's probably a half a mile away, even though you see it.
Yeah.
It's such a big thing. Of course, there's an RV Hall of Fame in Elkhart. Like, what the hell is that? Who would go to an RV Hall of Fame? Would you, Ryan?
No.
No.
Not interested at all.
I feel like it's
RVs.
a place where they make it and they try to make it a Hall of Fame. But listen, the RV Hall of Fame, I looked it up on Facebook, they have more fans than us, so they must be doing something right. They have a good 1,000. We have like 477.
What do they have in the RV Hall of Fame?
The original.
Just a bunch of RVs, or
They
like?
have the DVD of the bad Robin Williams movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do they have like memorabilia from the movie RV? Like, I don't.
Did they give you a free RV after the tour?
Yeah, you get to take one home
Because they knew
That's what you could drive home.
They knew everyone's car died. That's why they're there.
So, of course, we have to walk to the RV Hall of Fame to meet my mom at a meeting place. It's not like you're in a place where she knows where to get you. You're in the middle of nowhere in Indiana.
Yeah.
So, like, you don't know how to get there. So I had to cross the highway twice to go through 2 lanes. Dude, I felt like Frogger, the game. It was the weirdest thing.
You're like crossing the highway.
People are looking at us, flicking us off, honking at us. I'm like, have a good day, dude. You're the best. You're just a class act from Elkhart, Indiana. So
I've never heard of Elkhart, Indiana, but maybe that's probably why. Because there's nothing there.
But a bunch of elk and some hearts. Yeah, so my mom got us. We got to go through Gary, Indiana. That was fun.
Well, I guess all good things have to come to an end. And meanwhile, while you were in Cleveland, me and Ryan were coincidentally at the same Cub game on Saturday.
Yes,
against the
really
St. Louis
weird.
Cardinals.
Yeah, I mean, I was an early birthday present from
Did you see him?
my grandma.
No, we didn't see each
No,
other.
I got his tweet. I think you're probably already gone by the time I got.
Oh,
your
no,
tweet.
I was still at
I
the
don't know.
stadium.
Yeah, I was sitting. I was sitting in the same row as the Bartman seats, but I was on the other side.
On the other
Did
side
they
of
win or
yeah.
lose?
They lost.
Of course they did,
6 to
because you're in
3,
the
I think.
Bartman seat, super rich. Not a good move.
It was a
Not
good.
exactly
It was
the
a good
best
game
move.
until James Russell came in, and then
What are you
proved.
doing?
Yeah, it was a pretty good game.
Yeah, James. It was good until James Russell came in.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really mad. I was happy I got to see Jake Arrieta pitch.
Yeah, he
so.
other than that first inning, he was pretty good.
Yeah,
And did you get the Ernie Banks statue?
I did.
You did.
Where do you keep it at?
Did you just?
It's in my room.
Yeah, it's in my room too. It's
Adorable.
pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And it was supposed to be for 21 and older, because if you just walk in and hold your hand out, they give
Right,
it to you.
yeah,
And as long as
exactly.
you're not like a little kid that looks like he's not 21, they'll give it to you.
Right.
It was a pretty good game. Shearholtz hit a pinch hit home run. I was hoping they'd trade him, being like, yep, some team will want him doing that on the bench.
Yeah, he's batting like 197.
Yeah, and then he went 0 for 7 the other day. And then Sweeney hit a home run, which wasn't expecting that since he hit one the day before, and it went to the opposite field.
Yeah.
That was a
and
nice
then
hit.
the nice catch by
Coughlin.
in
You
left
said that
field.
was right in front of you.
Right in front of me, pretty much.
That saved a run, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did.
What's
Yeah.
it like when you guys, like with Ryan, you have season tickets?
Yeah.
Like,
The funny thing is, I wasn't even in my season tickets for that game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my seats were in. My seats are section 106, and for that game we were sitting in section 213.
That's how badass you are. When you get to go to a Cubs game, it's not even with season tickets. Like, that's how diehard of a fan you are. That's how great of a fan you are. You go to so many games, you have options to go when you don't even have the season tickets with you. Like,
Right.
that's how
These
badass
were
you are.
actually closer to the infield than my season tickets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's
these
nice.
were actually like in between the third base and the pitcher's mound. And it was only like we were in like row 6, so the overhang didn't even block anything.
Did you get to see any like drunk fans acting like idiots there or anything?
There were a good amount of Cardinal fans sitting
There
by
was.
us. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
There was a lot of Cardinal
I'm
fans
gonna be honest.
all
I
over.
kind of like the Cardinal games just because both fans get really into it. Just because
Yeah,
it's Cub
yeah, they
Cardinal
do.
baseball.
Because they're such aggressive imbeciles. They just
Yeah,
want
they
to get
are.
into fights
Yeah.
with you. Oh, we're better than you. We won more World Series. Well, you live in St. Louis. Sorry.
Out of the fans that were sitting by us were actually pretty chill and like just good
Yeah.
baseball fans. Like I don't know, it's always like a playoff atmosphere for Cub Cardinal baseball.
All right. Here's the deal. We're going to come back and we're going to discuss with Super Rich News everything going on with Ray Rice and why Roger Goodell is an imbecile. He's a buffoon. He's nothing but a phony.
Yep.
The fact
That
that
makes makes $44 million a year.
he
to
makes
do
more
nothing.
than some players who are in better shape than him that could beat him up by just a flick of a finger.
He makes he makes more than the best players do in like 3 seasons.
And he's done diddly squat. The fact that Ray Rice is only suspended for 2 games is a joke. We'll be right back. Hang on.
The Hoppe and Super Rich Show.
This is an official broadcast of Hoppe Radio. For more info, check out hopperadio.com and hoppesworld.com.